allow the children.
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle so they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. Mayegun la wa mo to do.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mo to do. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining me again today. I mean, if this is the second time, but if this is your first time, same to you, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in again. Remember, read the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. That is, read beyond the caption. Like it. Share it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell all of them that Mayegu is back. We are still doing a catch up. It is like, catching up on what happened. I mean, the last 5 days. Interesting ones. And then, of course, the saddest one, which comes from their own lawlessness, The state capture, some called it. Read detail. Share this. And tell everybody, say, that Mayegu today.
I'm here tonight. Lórí Facebook.
It a catch up because some of these events you probably have heard them but never paid attention to them. And as I do all the time, I want you to pay attention to them. Starting with the freed 20 medical doctors freed or released rather by the abductors and the staged drama, adulation that the police IG set for himself. Of course, Kolu returned to Nigeria to go and swear for his new acting CGN. And the image you had on your screen earlier is that of Sheyi Tifnumbu sat in the same executive chamber. It may not really mean much. There is more to that too. I'll be going left, right, and center, front and back everywhere. If you are willing to follow me, let's go. Today. So good morning to us, good afternoon to us, and good evening to all of us from wherever we are joining this chat from. It is Mayegun Live. 2 days ago, the Nigerian police released a statement and they said they have rescued the 20 medical students from University of Maiduguri, University of Jos. They were kidnapped exactly at Otrupo in Benue State last week. Even though the families said they paid ransom of over 50 million naira for their release, police took it upon themselves to say, no, they were rescued. Then people started asking questions like, hey, come on. If you rescue kidnapped victims, shouldn't you arrest their kidnappers? Now, people were asking all these questions. I think that's what prompted them to stage a press conference to tell the story while the freed medical students were in attendance to kind of, the way they usually do under Bokuwari. This time around, they didn't put uniforms on these ones, okay? But when they kidnap mass school children, then they will tell you that, they have rescued them. But there will be no terrorists on site. If you kill the terrorists, there will be no bodies, no nothing to show. But the difference right now is that Tifnumbu and his own gang, they are retrogressing in their own scripts. I'm glad they are free, by the way. But what you would like to know is that what happened to those who took them? If you are fighting insecurity, if you are fighting terrorism, what happened to those who have the audacity to take other people in any part of Nigeria? So if you rescue them, where is the body of their kidnappers or the arrested ones? They now said they kind of posted a picture that was from 2014, a picture of a bloodied, victims of theirs. I don't know what they did, right? So they said they were arrested armed robbers in 2014. I can't show you that because they were bloody, okay? And then 2 days ago, Nigerian police in their release said those were the arrested. They arrested 2. Others escaped. You get that now? That they arrested 2 kidnappers of the... In fact, you know what? Let's start from there again, where even the victims, one of them, speaks to the press as well. Let's start with the police IG. I was surprised when I saw it. I said, thank God you came back. What should I say now? Sit down. Now, this is down here. No, you sit down. And what are the commissioners?
Your Excellency, the Governor of Benue State, represented by Mr. Michael Ogleba, the Commissioner for Finance, Benue State, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Jos, Professor Tanko Ishaya, the Vice Chancellor, University of Maiduguri, Professor Mohammed Mele, representatives of the Nigerian Medical Association who are here present, the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, DIG Ede Ayuba, very senior police officers who are here present, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with a deep sense of relief that I brief you on a successful operation conducted by the Nigerian Police Force, which resulted in the rescue of 27 innocent citizens on 22nd August 2024. These victims had been abducted by a dangerous criminal gang in Benue State. Among those rescued were 20 medical students of the University of Jos and University of Maiduguri who were cruelly taken abducted while in transit to Enugu on 15th August 2024. Other passengers, 5 of them, and 2 other victims who had previously fallen victim to these heinous criminals were also freed. The successful rescue of these 27 individuals was achieved without the payment of any ransom. This success was made possible through the support received from the Office of the NSA, the activation of security network, intelligence, synergy with other security agencies, community engagement, and deployment of our highly skilled and tactical officers, whose dedication, bravery, and precision in executing their duties are truly commendable. During the operation, our officers engaged the kidnappers in a well-coordinated tactical offensive. I am pleased to inform you that the kingpin of this notorious gang was neutralized during an exchange of fire with our operatives, while 2 other members of the gang were arrested and their weapons recovered. These individuals are currently in our custody, where they are providing valuable information that will help us dismantle their criminal network and prevent future occurrences of such abductions. It is pertinent to state that rescue operations of this magnitude are painstakingly difficult and complex, requiring not only deployment of massive resources, but also physical courage, meticulous planning, and coordination. In this regard, I must extend my heartfelt appreciation to the Office of the National Security Advisor, whose support was instrumental in this operation. I must place on record the personal commitment of the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, to the success of the operation that led to the successful rescue of these victims. Mr. President gave us a marching order. He told us that he wants his children back. And since then, we have not been sleeping. I also wish to acknowledge the invaluable contributions of other security agencies who partner with us, as well as the local vigilantes who played a crucial role in ensuring the success of this mission. This success is a demonstration of what can be achieved when we work together towards a common goal. Let me take this opportunity to address all Nigerians, particularly the relatives of those who have been victims of such criminal acts in the past. We understand the anxiety and pain that families experience during these trying times. However, we urge you to cooperate with the police and other security agencies when such situations arise. It is only through cooperation and trust that we can effectively carry out our constitutional mandate of securing lives and property. We remain resolute in our commitment to rid our nation of criminal elements who seek to disrupt the peace and security of our society. The Nigerian Police Force will continue to employ every lawful means at its disposal to protect the lives and property of all Nigerians, while strongly determined to ensure that those who choose to engage in criminal activities are brought to justice. As we continue to advance our efforts in combating crime across the country, I assure you that we will remain vigilant, proactive, and relentless in our pursuit of a safer Nigeria where the security of every Nigerian and residents in our great country is our top priority. And we will not rest until every citizen can go about their daily lives free from fear and intimidation. Once again, I commend the bravery and professionalism of our officers, and I thank all the agencies and individuals who contributed to the success of this operation. Together, we will continue to strive towards a safer, more secure Nigeria. Thank you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
You know, he lied from the beginning to the end, right? And he did a press conference because they needed to say Tinubu wanted his children back. Tinubu with France wanted his children back. And since then, they've not had, they've been having sleepless nights. There is more lambao because the whole room is correctly staged. All right? This operation, this mission, this operation, this mission. We neutralized the leader and two others. We arrested two. Abba. The same script, isn't it? This one will be police officers. This one like civilians. Listen to this one too. At the same venue.
IGP Kayode and all the deputy IGPs that are here present. His Excellency, the Governor of Benue State, my colleague, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Maiduguri, all the senior police officers that are here present, the parents of the kidnapped students, and our own dear students, distinguished guests here, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure today to have the opportunity that the IGP has given us, to convey our message on behalf of the Governing Council of the University of Jos, the Senate, and indeed the entire University of Jos community, to stand here or sit here to express our profound gratitude to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, who directed that the students who were kidnapped must be rescued. And of course, that directive has been taken or were taken seriously by the Inspector General of Police, the National Security Advisor, the government of Benue State, and the entire security agencies that have worked tirelessly to ensure that today we can smile, that today we are having our students back, and we are gratitude to all the efforts that these security agencies have put in. Indeed, this successful operation, I believe, is a demonstration to Nigeria that indeed we have security agencies that are determined to provide a safe environment for this country. I'm sure a majority of us, when this thing happened, we weren't quite sure what was going to happen. But we took the plunge immediately as a university, reported to all the security agencies, and they took everything possible. They made everything possible. I must, IGP, commend, your men who worked under very, very difficult circumstances, very difficult terrain, to be able to rescue these our students. And I of course, understand how difficult that terrain is. I also want to use this opportunity to appreciate and thank all Nigerians, because indeed all Nigerians have been praying. While your men was in the bush, Nigerians were praying for your men, actually, and the students to be rescued appropriately and bring them back safe and sound. I want to also commend the patience of the parents. We have been in touch, we have been in communication with the parents since the kidnap started. I want to commend them because it was not easy for the communication for them, for us to even from time to time convince them that indeed the security agencies are at work, and assure them that by the grace of God the security agencies are going to bring back these students unhurt. We are happy and we want to thank you most sincerely. We want to thank the cooperation of everybody. I want to assure you, IGP sir, that because we know that these our students have gone through trauma, psychological and physical trauma. As a university, we have already arranged and prepared that as soon as we hand over these students to us, we are going to camp them somewhere where we are going to provide, counseling, guidance and counseling before they are actually reintegrated back into the society. We may assume that, some of the trauma that because they are looking very, very physical and healthy, but we believe that they require a kind of guidance, particularly counseling, that will make them, overcome the trauma and the experience that they have had. And I can assure you that as soon as the students are at our hands, we are going to collaborate with the parents to ensure that is being provided by the university, particularly the University of Jos. Even the students that are coming from Maiduguri actually took off from the University of Jos. So that was why I was saying, even if the VC of Maiduguri is not here, I'm here in proxy to represent both the universities. So I want to thank you once again. I want to thank.
Appreciate. Thank you. The students are back, and the other 20. The other 7 people. Here you get. That's the stage, because they needed to prove to all of you that they rescued them. So when you have the VC of this university, you have the governor of that state, all of them are there giving themselves and passing on flowers. Thank you so much for your men and your gallant so and so. Yeah. But let's be honest though, okay? If the Nigerian police want to find you, as useless as they are, if Nigerian police won't do, I've been told that, well, I'm not saying like to the standard of the world, inside that same Nigeria, if Nigerian police won't find anybody, they will find you. Except if they don't want to see you. If the police no fit see you, they have other well-paid security agents. Their job is to have access to data that me and you can't have access to. They have clearance. The reason why we don't really see to understand these guys, other than the evil they represent, is because that kind of resources, if they deploy them into looking after bad people, Nigeria may not be in this situation. And guess what? If they really have to do their job, they will likely have to put, listen to this, they would have to put more than 80% of your elected officials, or those ones who read themselves, it doesn't matter, your public officials, they would have to put like 80% of them in jail. Out of that 80% that will be in jail, there will actually be more than 40% of them involved in different kinds of terrorism against Nigeria. Yeah, religious terrorism, tribal ethnic terrorism, economic terrorism, all kind of sabotage against Nigeria using the position they had in the past. So they will either be standing trial for treason, which means they will be killed, 40% of them. And guess what? Like 80% of the head of the police leadership in Nigeria, 80% of them will end up in jail as well. Out of the 80%, more than 40% of them as well, they would have to probably be hung. They will be killed because they have been involved in kidnapping, which is against the law. They have been involved in armed robbery. They have been police in Nigeria. They have been involved in renting their harm to criminals. So when they begin to look at those who are coordinating that, they have been involved in killing many Nigerians extrajudicially, right? Not just that, and some of them have been buried. So do you understand what it means? Like if they want to do their job for real, because they are empowered to see everything. You know, to say, if you think you are very clean, I'm very clean, I don't have anything, and all of that. If government is interested in you, and they need to find something on you, like desperately, they will find something. Except if it's just something that is not really useful per se, but they will find something. Then you will know that you're actually not that clean. But how do you think it's difficult for criminal government to track criminals? How do you think it's difficult? Because you cannot, negative cannot cancel negative. I think, right? I mean, no, that's not a good analogy. See, scratch that. All right? Thieves no fit catch thief, even though they said that thieves sabi the track of another thief on the rock. A lie. Analogy of the thieves. So it's difficult because they are all compromised. But true, if they want to find or see anything, they would get you. This issue of tracking people's phone and all that, yeah, is a tool. It's a very powerful tool that governments in the world have on the rest of their people. It's like a spy, you know, as easy as free as our mobiles. They are not totally free from the spyware of the governments all over the world. It just depends on what they are looking for. And that is why it is so strange when the Nigerian police or criminal police said their hands are tied. Same with the military. Our hands are tied. Because they didn't give us the order to go after the terrorists. Terrorists today, social media, on TikTok, displaying their victims, displaying their ransom, displaying their weapons. I saw one abusing Tifnumbu yesterday. I just passed. Let's go back into that room of the rescue student again. I like what that guy said, by the way. We need to give them counseling. We need to give them therapies because of the trauma they've been through. Even though they look healthy, I don't even know if that's right. They look healthy physically, they look okay, but we believe that a lot has happened in the last 1 week that requires, more than just physically okay. Listen to this one.
Governor of Benue State, who would have loved to be here personally. He's so excited and happy as what has happened. His first thanks go to the president, who has a special place in his heart of Benue, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The NSA, who has spent countless hours on the phone with our governor to ensure that this happens. The IGP, who has spared no cost and no personnel to ensure that this happens. I also want to thank specially, usually the unsung heroes in this kind of transaction, the people who gave information on the ground, our community, who were part and parcel of this operation. My governor sent me here with a message, first to the police. He has said, Governor Ali is a spiritual person. It is no surprise that this miracle happened in Benue. As you know, he's the only sitting Reverend Father who is a governor also. Before his foray into politics, he was the Reverend Father. This miracle happened in Benue. He's here to say that this is a moment of pivotal change in the way things happen in Nigeria. This is a moment we'll look back and say, this is when it first happened. That these people are on the run. They're on their back. They have turned their back and they're running. IGP, this is the moment you've proven that they are on their run. Things have turned for the better. This is a message from a spiritual person to Nigeria and to the police. So he said he spends a special thanks to you, and he says that people love to say the things are not working. But this is the moment that we must celebrate. I hope we heard when the IGP said no ransom was paid. It is difficult to rescue this number of people in an open field, in a terrain known by the enemy but unknown by your men. So this is no mean feat. It is not something that just happens. It is something that we talked about in time to come. And this is a time that Nigeria will look back and say, this is when we turn the tide on insecurity and the many things that bedevil our nation. Hope has returned. Hope is here. And I want to thank the gallant men that went after these people and turned this and made this happen. To our students, you heard the NSA. He said, please go about your business. You're not alive today because of fear. You are going to go about with courage, despite what has happened to you. Go. Be successful. Prove that Nigeria has not spared its best to save you for nothing. Right? Be there for the country. To the parents who stood and prayed with us throughout, thank you. The whole country, we are all awake praying for you, hoping that the social media was agog with prayers and everything that you must come back. So please prove Nigeria right by being the best you can, the best doctors, the best whatever it is you study. And the rest of the police, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for Benue State. And in Benue State, we've had our fair share of security challenges, especially in the past. Things have taken a turn for the better with the coming of this present government. If you notice, the whole scale, industrial scale killings that used to happen in Benue have reduced to a minimum. We're not there yet, but we're moving towards that place. And thanks to our gallant police force and the members of the
nuisance Lele.
Typical Nigerian politician. I put him towards the last. First, he started by saying he's a governor who is a spiritual person. His spirits did not prevent the kidnapping. Okay? But when it was time for them and the camera to start rolling, see, Governor of Benue is a very spiritual person, and he has a message for Nigerians that this is it. This is the moment we turn the tide against insecurity in Nigeria. I heard the IG said we didn't pay any ransom for this kind of transaction. That is new. Typical, just typical. How about the victims themselves? They are also full of thanks, by the way. One of them.
Doesn't happen again, as we wish our students a speedy recovery from the physically and emotionally traumatizing situation of being in captivity for 8 days. We thank the government and security agencies for their efforts, especially the National Security Advisor, the IG of Police, and the DG of DSS. In the same vein, we appreciate the Benue State Governor and the security agencies in the state. We applaud the parents of the abductees for their patience and efforts during this period. As an association, we are concerned about the security of health personnel across the country. We still have doctors in captivity, most notably Dr. Ganiat, who was abducted 8 months ago in Kaduna State. Hence, we urge the government to double its efforts in this regard. Thank you. This is from Dr. Shah Amenga, the second Vice President of the NMA.
Of the Nigerian Police, of the Federation.
Doesn't happen again.
Student body of the NMA. They had to also go and bring the secretary, I've been a president of the Nigeria Medical Association student branch, to come and read a speech where they inserted Rebadu, the IG, the director of DSS. Abi, all scripted. The family paid 58 million naira. That's what they said. Remember when the father was pleading that they should not kill their children, they are still raising the money and all of that. So the family of the victims, right? They themselves have not had access to actually see their own children before they got hijacked by the Egbetokun team, and they set a stage to display and parade them as a trophy to honor Tifnumbu, Ribadol, as well as Egbe Tokun. Anyway, going forward, I said this before. I said I'm glad they're back. Man, those who didn't have that chance. You heard that mofo who said, now that they have rescued you, we hope you are not going to be. He didn't say it that way. He said, you should remember that Nigeria saved you. So please be grateful to Nigeria that you also kind of give back, which means, Nigeria is facing the Japa syndrome within the health sector. It's been a while though, right? To the point that Tifnumbu's government is doing everything to make sure that those who escape from the contraption become so useless without their medical certificates, with no verification through their BVN, Abina, NIN, whatever, through the NIMC, rather, NIMC, Abina, NIN. They shall have all these useless abbreviations for different kind of useless agencies, Abina parastatals, to help them mess up the lives of Nigerians. Even if you escape, you are still not escaping. So that guy was telling them, nobody say, oh, go call say, okay, because of this experience, now you want Jackpa leave Nigeria. Remember all the money that we paid. Remember all the wahala. Don't Jackpa. I mean, I don't know if you heard that. I did. Right? And that was when I was away. Remember when this man said, yesterday we had that as part of our program. The pulpit bandits, Adeboye, that said that Nigeria's problem requires a spiritual solution. Almost everybody just went like mental. Like Baba Yelosi, Kiloting pay now, old people's home. It don't try.
Clearer to us that the problems our nation is facing is more than political. Our problem will require quite a bit of spiritual solution. We as a country are blessed. We are blessed with people with great intelligence. We are blessed with all manners of resources, and yet we have so many problems. And it's not as if the people in authority are not trying their best. They are doing as much as humanly possible. And I will find that when you have problems that are beyond human's ability to solve, clearer to us.
Human problems beyond human ability to solve, Pastor. It is not spiritual. I was asking people yesterday, I said, Omo, I will understand that the Nigerian problem is spiritual if your criminal politicians will steal your money. If somebody just loot money from your treasury, right? I just go naked. For example, let's say, Sanwo-Iku. See the stock say that one done mad before, Abi? Now you see, like Sanwo-Iku, suddenly just bursts inside one jeep around Mushin. Just jump out of the car and scream, yeah. Please help me. What's happened with that? No be so it could be this. What's happened? Because I get spiritual problem. I steal money, and that's why I'm dropping the money is in my car. Like, see, I get spiritual problem. I say, oh, come here. Yes, oh, not the devil. Come, let's pray for you. You get spiritual problem. That is why you are this. You know what I mean? Like, I would love that. Or dubious dapo, may go naked for Sabo in Shagamu. In tow, maybe about 4 government vehicles. They just stole money. They just shared the money. Maybe he's coming back from the Bureau de change that change it to dollars. And because it's a spiritual problem, at Sabo before they reach Iperu, in Sabo in Shagamu, before they reach Iperu, jump out of the car, scream. They say, don't be dubious. Governor, Excellency, naked himself, dump all the money he just stole that on the streets and scream. They say, what's happened? Some other people say, nah, spiritual problem, my brother. You don't steal money. Spiritual problem will make them steal money. It will come make them mad. That's why a lot of people are praying against it. Adeboye didn't do that. Adeboye knew what he's talking about. It's not spiritual. And the problem is not beyond human solution. It is systemic. Remember, it is. I want to hear that again. There's a part I want to talk about soon.
Clearer to us that the problems our nation is facing is more than political. But our problem will require quite a bit of spiritual solution. We as a country are blessed. We are blessed with people with great intelligence. We are blessed with all manners of resources.
That's it. That's the point I wanted to bring out. Have you not noticed that they have lied to you all your life? That Nigerians is blessed with great people, great mind, intelligence, and all of that. Like, have you ever thought that that was actually one beautiful lie that some of you still repeat it today? Nigeria is so blessed. Nigeria is so blessed that, you see Nigerians here excelling outside deep there. I don't lie to myself for so long that I'm going to help you today to understand some things. In Nigeria, number one, there's a bit of a justification for that to say the worst of Nigeria are the ones ruling over possibly the best of Nigeria, but that best is not that much. I'm talking about things that you will say, great minds, how they think. You know what is great? How great minds, how they think. Great minds are not selfish, greedy, bastards. You get that? Great minds think about how to build community, design society, build a system. Great minds, philosophers, that's what they did. That's what they are doing. Yeah. In Nigeria, a great mind of thieves you have. Criminals, crooked criminals who think they are smart by having the ability to cheat other people and get away with it. Great minds build things. These guys are building shit hole. But we go about, we have great mind. What exactly would you say the great mind of Nigeria, inside Nigeria, has built to change the situation in Nigeria? Let's look at technology. But there are Nigerians who are doing great. Are you mad, Dini? How come it's only when they left Nigeria they are doing great? How come those of you who are inside that place have not been able to fix electricity, to fix road networking, to build a stable healthcare system for millions of people? But rather, you are waiting for handouts. You are waiting for donors. You are waiting for this and that. They continue to make you think you are great. You have great people, great mind, intelligent people. Where is their intelligence? Like, for real, let's kind of be real. Oh, corruption. Okay. Those are your great people. You have great criminals. That's what you have in Nigeria. Those who want to have all this money, but they can't build a system, a working system. They can't. They can't build a working country. But they are great people, intelligent people, Nigerians. Nigerians are so talented because of Wizkid and Davido. What's the other one? The Burna Boy. Davido, Wizkid don't sell out O2. Baba, no black person, no black artist don't sell out O2 like that. I felt proud to be a Nigerian. I've seen that many times. 48-year-old man is so happy. Whiskey, you are giving glory to Nigeria. Great mind, great people. If you go to Indigo Stadium, if you go to Kiniko, we are talking about real things that actually really change lives there. Then they go about and see Nigerians who are succeeding in America. Oh, he's a neurologist. Number one neurologist in the world is a Nigerian. Really. Yet you couldn't train number 2 in the world. It's right there inside that same healthcare system in your place. But politicians will tell you, pastors and all these guys will tell you, it's spiritual. How come we cannot use these great people to change Nigeria? That must be spiritual. It's not because of greed and selfishness. Thieves. No, it's not because of that. It must be spiritual. You cannot understand, Mayegun. Mayegun, you cannot understand. You see, this word is a true thing. That is spiritual, that is physical. Okay, go on. You see, there are some spiritual that controls the physical. You know that Freemason. You know these people, all of the Nigerians, they know all the courts group who did this word since the creation of the arts. You know, when you are researching what is your problem, like they say, there are some forces that are controlling powerful people. Let me tell you something. And they believe it. Then they believe that those powerful, they belong to courts, different courts, Mayegun. These people, they bath with human blood. I know. These people, they use juju. I remember when I was so young, by the way, when they said Abacha was so powerful that the people that were doing prayers for Abacha, now only once then they come outside in a year. I don't know if some of you heard that. The Abacha's juju men, that they brought them from Sudan, from Afghanistan, from all this nonsense, right? And they know they go just stay inside, they talk to, they know they see sky. How many of you, when they laugh, see, people are laughing. They know what I'm saying. A lot of you grew up with that fallacy. Abi? And because of that, a lot of you also believe that, you don't understand, Mayegun, this is not be ordinary, The moment people enter that old rock, they could change. How come people will enter the place, they do the same thing, they loot you, brutalize you, assault you, and then spit on you? Why you are there confused? You just believe saying some spirit, they control them. Spirit way they control them to loot you. Same way, same style. From Babangida time to today. Man, I want to change. I want to change your phone. You need to deconstruct. We need to deconstruct the mind of a lot of people for you to now understand that when they give this, when this guy talks, you know, Adeboye is a spiritual person. On shake with any at what Adeboye. And social enigma, and they talk to, and they tell you, you know, when they try to straighten your head, when I go still bend down, straight your head, when I go still bend down. That's what they say. May the Mugu never kind of wake up. So Guy Man will continue to chop. Using spiritual will not make them run mad. Spiritual will not make them go and dump all their bullion van money inside the ocean. All of you will say, our leaders have gone mad. Yo. Maybe that will work. There's no real investment in the people to actually say they have talent. What talent? Talent will go learn. If they ask you, what will be your talent? What will be your intelligence? Intelligence that cannot run a society. Intelligence that cannot build anything that works. Intelligence that cannot build rail system that works. The one that cannot build the electricity system that works. The one that cannot maintain and fund the healthcare system that works. The one that cannot maintain and fund education that works. The same intelligence that cannot build an economy that creates jobs for the army of unemployed youth. 40 million youth. 50 million unemployed youth. He shouted, recruit, recruit. 50 million youth. Now it's been a year and 2-3 months. Those they said they should recruit, they are still wondering when.
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits
to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and the other thing. Take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, àgbàdo, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps, we create our food. I mean, that's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot is technically competent to repair a tractor in the farm.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian.
And it's been a year and 3 months, I think. Right now, when are you going to share the rice? When are they going to share the money? The questions being asked by the suspected 50 million youth. Intelligence. Nigerians have intelligent people who can who can construct and run a 24 hours electricity in their country after 63, nearly 64 years of supposed independence. But come on now. Imagine if you are a parent and you have a son that is 64 years old, useless, is failed in a marriage or relationship, it's been a kind of like they have a name for them, a layback, not a layback. It's been a failure in business, it's been a failure in everything. He's 64 years old and you are still the one feeding him. Would you be proud of such a son or child? 67 years old man or 70-year-old man.
Tiagasa, they tiagasa, he fell, he fainted, he passed out. He passed out. 70 years old man. 70 years old man.
70 years old man. I'll leave the 70-year-old man for now and let this guy who says he has a message for him, especially what to look out for with his romance with Wike. This is one of the other statesmen from Rivers State, by the way. Listen.
Untoward that could cost PDP Rivers State, because we saw it in 2014-15. PDP lost Rivers State, true or false? PDP lost. They lost Amechi. That imbroglio cost President Jonathan, Rivers State, cost President Jonathan his seat. Because had Amechi remained governor of Rivers State and chairman of Governors Forum, there was no way APC would have won the presidency. Here again, the same dramatist his personal interests. It is not proper, instead of basking in his popularity, having done well as governor of Rivers State to some extent, he is becoming notorious. Our former governor has become notorious because of this Governor Siminalayi Fubara's matter. He's become notorious because if these kind of issues continues to resonate negatively and one man is involved, I think it makes the same person become his notorious. So, what does it call for? It calls for men of conscience, men and women of conscience, citizens, true citizens, patriots, to come together to say, please, this should not happen. What is happening here will hurt the president. In our last press conference, we also mentioned to the president, I think the population of Rivers State is not less than 8 million people. And the voting strength of Rivers State is more than 3 million. What is happening today will make Tinubu unpopular among the voters of Rivers State. You can take this to the bank because you cannot mess the governor of Rivers State up and expect that Rivers people will clap hands. I think that politically, coming back to political sociology I mentioned, as a sociologist, the president should know who his friend, that he needs Rivers State in 2027 and not 1 year some weekend. Even in APC as a political party, what is happening today? The APC people are not comfortable with Wike. Neither are the PDP people comfortable with Wike as a person. So that is the reason I will advise him as a son of Rivers State. He once was a beloved son. Let him make hay while the sun shines. So come back to retrace his steps, before he becomes terminally a profligate prodigal. A profligate prodigal. Let him retrace his steps. Otherwise, his end in politics may not be far. By the time you make yourself to be used as a pawn, by the time you make yourself to be a cannon fodder, by the time you make yourself to be used as a common mercenary, so we need a mercenary to go do this thing. Are you being called upon to do good? These issues, as we are discussing, my dear Carrie, is not a good one. Traditionally, Rivers State is a PDP state. These same people pushed Amechi out of PDP. And PDP is back. And they want to cause the governor of Rivers State to leave PDP. Unless the governor doesn't know his onions. There is no governor, we have seen it, based on precedent. Otom left ruling APC, true or false, to PDP. He won election because his people voted for him. The present governor of Rivers State, so far, is doing well. So far, is doing well. The goods of democracy dividends. He is doing good. I can enumerate a few things that were never done before. For the first time, 4 billion naira attracted from the Bank of Industry. That money is being distributed to micro businesses. It was never done before. Going around the various, the educational sector.
You complain about insecurity, right? You complain about unemployment, right?
Yes.
You complain about the fact that, oh, we are hungry, right?
Right.
You say we want to protest, right?
Right.
You say, oh, you don't have medical facilities, right? You say you don't have good schools and good teachers, right? You say minimum wage, right? It's right.
Can't solve all the problems.
Right, no problem. So for now, Fubara seems to be sharing the rights correctly, and he will have a lot of them on his side. Remember that Rivers State is the second richest state in Nigeria, by the way. Yeah. Going forward, not just an elder that says that if Numbu should probably forget about 2020, they are talking about 2027. Can you see? It's unfortunate. They say leaders thinks about the next generation. Or Nigerian politicians only, or should I say Nigerian dealers, only thinks about the next election. So it seems that things are coming around for the Fubara guy, by the way. He had, a few days ago, the supposed support from the PDP governors. I just want to share what they had to say, or what they said.
2024 fourth meeting held here in Government House, Jalingo, Taraba State on Friday, August 23rd, 2024. The PDP Governors Forum today, Friday 23rd, 2024, held a regular monthly meeting in Jalingo, the Taraba State capital, and issued the following communique. 1. The meeting deliberated on crucial intra-party and governance matters affecting our states, as well as those of overriding national interest and importance. 2. The governors noted with a sigh of relief the end of bad governance protest, which was aging to a major national crisis. We salute the dexterity of the governors, especially the PDP extraction, in handling the situation in their respective states with maturity, thereby restraining hoodlums and other unscrupulous elements from hijacking the protests. Number 3, the forum reiterates that peaceful protests are the inalienable rights of the citizens through which they vent their genuine grievances. The forum commiserates with the families of those innocent souls that were lost and calls on the federal government to ensure fair and speedy trial of those who were arrested. Number 4, the forum laments that rather than undertake a review of the macroeconomic and social policies with a view to giving them a human face, the federal government has resorted to blackmail. We call on Mr. President to show statesmanship by restraining his officials from blame games that make the subnationals look bad by mentioning peaceful interventions piecemeal intervention that cannot solve the problem. We remain unshaken in our firm resolve to stand with the suffering Nigerian masses and to take all legitimate steps to ameliorate their plight. Number 5, the forum notes the political impasse in Rivers State, where court judgments are employed to determine the outcome of party congresses. The PDP Governors Forum restates its stand and firm support to the governor of Rivers State and will engage the NWC of the Great Party to revisit the Congress with a view to correcting the anomaly and allowing His Excellency Governor Similaye Ubra to take his rightful leadership position of the party in the state. Number 6, with regard to the forthcoming governorship election in Edo State, we condemn the pronouncement by the president to compromise the election in favor of his party, as well as the systematic intimidation of PDP supporters by the Nigerian police, and call on his Inspector General of Police to call his men to order. Number 7, The Forum notes with concern the refusal of the federal government to distinguish between the federal government revenue and the revenue accruing to the Federation, which must be allocated in accordance with the extant laws. We call on the Federal Minister of Finance and the Accountant General of the Federation to be more transparent in obeying the law, particularly Section 1621, 2 and 3. And equally call on the Accountant General of the Federation to stop behaving like the Accountant General of the federal government and to exercise her role in line with the Constitution. Thereafter, Therefore, we call for the separation of the office of the Accountant General of the Federation and that of the Accountant General of the FGM. Lastly, the Forum commends the host, our very good host, the Taraba State Governor, under government, under Governor Dr. Abure, for the hospitality accorded members of the Forum and the Secretariat, and noted with delight the giant steps taken to deliver the dividends of democracy to the people of the state. 2024.
Anarchy loans. Anarchy loans.
So from what I picked from that Turenshi, Dogo Turenshi, it's called, right? From what I picked from that is that the Accountant General of the Federation is not Accountant General of Tifnumbu. You go find out soon. Okay. And then, yeah, that Tifnumbu and his crew are not able to differentiate between federal government revenue and the Federation revenue and all that. So also, their support for Fubara, which was why I actually showed you that, okay? So they said something about Edo elections too, where APC is hell-bent, right, in taking the Edo state. There's been so much drama around that. The one that also dragged Abure, the supposed former chairman of Labour Party. The guy said he's still the chairman, but you remember that they were like, no, you're not. The Congress you are calling because of your this or that and your corruption. They actually mentioned corruption. Abure said those who are saying that were those are sponsored to get rid of him. And it's very sad that Peter Obi is listening to them and not listening to him, even though that one said, no, I want all of you to work together and sort your problems. But no, they won't. Abure was right here earlier today, granting what they call the press conference. Prior to that, last week, and INEC called the political parties in some states where, from states where they want to have elections, like Edo State, for example, right? And then Oshun later, and then where again? And some places where they're having local government election, whatever, right? This Mr. Yakubu called all of them, and they were having a chat around that. And Abure got bounced. They said Abure has been removed as chairman. He was not supposed to be there. So today, he had this to say. Let's go and listen. Abure.
Accordingly, it is very clear that the party has fulfilled its obligation to convene its convention. Therefore, for any person or group of persons or any agency to begin to instigate members of the party from the back door that the tenures of the executive have expired is tantamount to being unprofessional and mischievous. Number 7. We must also state that government business is not conducted verbally. It is done in official communication through writings and correspondences. As we speak, as at the moment, there is no communication whatsoever from INEC to the party as it regards any objection to the conduct of that convention. In administrative law parlance, once a communication has been made to a government agency and there is no response, it is deemed to mean that those communications and correspondences have been accepted. Indeed, INEC has related closely and clearly with the leadership of the party until recently when the party was denied the invitation to attend the third quarterly consultative meeting of political parties. As we speak, there is no correspondence from INEC to explain that action. 8. The National Working Committee notes that the National Convention of the party, held on the 27th day of March 2024, has been validated by a court of competent jurisdiction of the Federal High Courts, sitting in Abuja on the 16th day of June 2024, when it held that issues of leadership, conduct of congresses, and convention are internal affairs of a political party. The versatile and erudite judge went ahead to determine all the issues of notices, how the convention was held, delegates, amongst others, were determined by the court, and thus the court upheld the National Convention of the party. Consequently, it is our view that for anybody to hold the opinion that there is a vacuum in the leadership of the party is not only mischievous, but a deliberate attempt to cause panic, to cause chaos, and to disrupt the smooth workings of our great party, the Labour Party. Number 9. The National Working Committee of the Labour Party urges all members of the party to play by the rules, pay respect to the national leadership of the party and the party executives at all levels, and respect the party constitution. All party members are under obligation to respect the integrity, the dignity of the party and its leadership. Consequently, the national leadership states clearly that it will not hesitate henceforth, the party will not hesitate henceforth to discipline any member of the party, however highly placed, who is not ready to obey the constitution of the party and indeed obey the lawful directive of the leadership of the party. In this regard, the National Working Committee went ahead to set up a standing disciplinary committee as follows. Barrister Kehinde Edu, National Legal Advisor, is the chairman of that committee. Chief Clement Ojukwu, Deputy Chairman of the party, is a member. Dr. Ayo Olorufemi, Deputy Chairman of the party, is a member. Dudu Manuga, National Women Leader, is a member. Barrister Callistus Ihejuwa, State Chairman, Imo State, is a member. Alhaji Raji Ahmed, Chairman, Kano State, member. Alhaji Umar Farouk Ibrahim, National Secretary of the party, is a member and secretary of the disciplinary committee. Number 10, the National Working Committee also notes that assuming, without conceding, that the tenure of the current National Working Committee has even expired, we must state clearly that it is not the responsibility of Dr. Alex Oti as Governor of Abia State to convene a NEC meeting for the purposes of setting up a caretaker committee. It is still the responsibility of the national chairman and the national secretary of the party to convene such a meeting. Secondly, it is the responsibility of INEC to officially communicate in writing as to why it has objection to the conduct of convention and indeed draw the attention of the leadership of the party to the fact that their tenure has expired. Examples of such official communications are numerous, such as was the case in ADC and that of Accord Party. The tenure of the leadership of these parties expired, and INEC wrote several letters to those parties to draw their attention, particularly the attention of the national chairman of these parties to the fact that their tenures.
I said I must come here. I said there's no way I will not come here. I said I must come here. I said there's no way I will not come here. I said I must come here. I said there's no way I will not come here. I said I must.
You get that? He added Alex Sotti, the golden son of the obedient struggle. How could he just like, okay, that's like, the battle line is drawn, okay? And the Labour Party is like cheering apart this way as Abure is not going to go down without a fight. And, he's not going to go down without dragging the same party with him. He's fighting what he believes is coming from external forces that want to control Labour Party. While the external forces are accusing him of corruption and high-handedness, dictatorship, in a way that they said he's been actually running the whole thing. He's been running it like a one-man show with other guys behind and all that. Like a racket, to the point that some of them reported him that he is funding terrorism. Idiot and the Lamidiot Pampas. These were guys who became famous. Trying to tell us that Abure, they chop alone. They give them anything. They are hearing about billions. Now Abure is fighting everyone. Here is the concluding part, by the way.
Has expired. Nor that indeed the convention of the party that was held at INEC was not accepted by the commission. That is why the intrigues and the maneuvering that are ongoing are laughable. 11. Apart from the fact that the Federal High Court in Abuja has already validated the National Convention held in March, there are other persons who have equally challenged the convention of the party, and these cases are as follows. The lists are here and you can see them. It is therefore trite in our laws that once cases are pending in courts, parties are to maintain status quo ante in order not to destroy the rest. In this case, INEC is expected to maintain the status quo ante in order not to destroy the rest of the party. INEC is expected not to descend into the arena of conflict, but to continue with its neutrality and work cordially with the recognized leadership of the party until the courts state otherwise. 12. The National Working Committee must also state, in addition, that Labour Party is different from other political parties in the sense that it is not a party that is controlled by one man, nor one woman, nor one leader. Neither is it a party that can be put in the pockets of one person. It is a party for the generality of the people. It is for these reasons it was possible to record the successes it made in the 2023 general election. The outlook of the party made it possible for people like Dr. Alex Otti to use the platform of the party and win the general election in 2023 after trying and failing in APC, PDP, and even Abga. Therefore, the ideology, principles, ideas, and outlook of the party must be maintained at all costs. It is a party for the peasants, the downtrodden, the poor, the oppressed, and those who indeed want genuine change and good governance for the people of Nigeria. I must state and conclude here with the quote from Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart, where he said, "Let the ego perch and let the kite perch also." In Labour Party, we are not troublemakers as people are trying to paint, as people try to perceive. We accommodated everybody in the party and provided our platform for people to use. We provided that accommodation, we accommodated them, we assisted them, and today we have a lot of elected officers. The party is big enough to accommodate all interests. The party is large enough to accommodate diverse opinion. And that's why at this level, we have been very professional in our approach to issues. We have been very dispassionate in the manner and the way we deal with issues. So we are not fighting anybody. Since after the general election, I need to make this clarification, the party executive and the party leadership have been under attack. What we have done since after the general election is for us to defend ourselves. We have never started any attack on any person or any group of persons. If you look at the struggle we have faced since after the general election, none has.
I'm just showing you the level of spiritual problems of Nigeria. Somebody said, man, Mayogu, this is punishment. Oh, I know. And I had no intention of punishing you. I just want you to sit back there and look straight onto that your screen while these buffoons open their mouth. And sometimes it's also to help you to question the sanity of people who listen to these guys, people who speak for them or defend them. I mean, this is not you reading about what somebody said or not say. This is you listening to them. And sometimes it can be annoying, almost of the time. It is also a moment for you to understand the deepness of it. Now, you might think you did, you probably understood it, eh? No, you don't. Not in that way. Word of mouth can't describe the rot that Nigeria is in, the systemic rot. I asked, do you think there is anything working in that contraption, any institution at all? Democracy, your yanch, like Prince Jejema will put it. Democracy, your yanch. Anyway, let's leave Labour Party. I have another guy. That one is of SDP. Yeah, there are major guys there. There are major players there. Labour Party got the obedient tsunami. And that suddenly pushed that guy, their chairman, to an international stardom. No joke. He became an ideal party chairman for the younger people now interested in politics of their country. So now they found something that is totally different from what they have been used to. PDP APC. Their naivety really helped to bolster not just the image, the ego of Abure, also his bank accounts. And some people actually have the record of his bank accounts in the last 2 years that they were like, oh, man, lucky bastard. That kind of thing. Like you have been used to some few people coming about where you say, come and take our party ticket to run for assembly. Give us 500,000 naira. Assembly. No, I can't pay 500,000 naira for Labour Party ticket. 350. Jale. Say, okay, women, come and take it for free. To go and become House of Assembly Labour Party. They don't say, it's like they believe that you will never win. But you see that small money that all of you will kind of pay. If you have like about 1,000 people who paid 200,000 naira to buy tickets, APC, right? You will see governorship tickets in APC for 50 million naira. You will go and check here PDP, now 30 million naira. Tickets, there's no guarantee that you'll be governor. Sure you get. Then you go to Labour Party. 5,000 naira. They cheap, okay? We are very nice. We are People's Party. Just pay us 5,000 naira and you can become governor. I'm joking. But you know what I mean now, eh? When you pay 30 million to be governor in PDP, you go to Labour Party, they say now 2.5 million. Say, yeah, well, okay. Can I buy form for my friends too? He wants to be governor too. Say, of course, you can. What about my brother-in-law? The idiot said one day he dreams of becoming a governor. And I think, say, should I buy one for him? Say, yeah, sure. Why not? Come on. We have tickets. You'll be governor, senator. And my wife, I know she will be first lady, but maybe I should just send her to the Senate. How much is a senatorial ticket? 750,000. 500. You don't try already. You don't buy 3 governorship tickets. You don't buy maybe, and you've paid well. You are taken like that, 500,000. So you are given one for my madam, Senator Princess Balogun. And then Princess will just go and do poster for all of us on Instagram and Facebook. And we can begin to call her distinguished. 500,000 naira. The same one that Natasha Akpoti will pay 15 million for in Kogi, ordinary Kogi. Or if you go and get it for, what do you call it? Labour Party, then they surprisingly, shockingly, obedient just came from nowhere, almost tsunami, heavy, no joke, heavy gone. Abure just like, it just faced you wave. And some people were not happy. So I know it's boring, but sometimes annoying. Maybe this one won't be annoying because this one is not reading something he wrote down. He's complaining about the judiciary and he's convinced Nigeria judiciary is the most corrupt judiciary in the world. I don't know this guy much, okay? I don't know if he's telling the truth or lie, but I believe that he's telling the truth. I agree with him. You should listen to him too, probably from his own experience.
When I was in primary school, I don't know the difference between the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Hausas, the Fulanis. We are all in the same school. We go to each other's houses, we eat, we play together. One of my friends, Chidi, his father sent provision. We'll go to the shop, take sweet out of the father's shop, he'll be chasing us around. One of my friend Abdurrahman, his father is Taylor from Oyo Sticks. We go to his shop and play with a sewing machine. That was how beautiful life is. We don't know this discrimination because of my tribe or my religion or segregation. This is not who we are as a nation. We found ourselves in this because the class of politicians of 1999 do not believe that democracy will last. So the career politicians back out. The non-career politicians that have access to some little funds out of patronage by military regime took over the political space. And largely, almost 80% of them are not connected to their community, are not connected to anybody. All they know is how to make money. They don't know what is happening in the villages. They don't know how dispensary functions before. They don't know how local government functioned before. So that is why we cripple the local government system. It's part of the migration, it's part of the crisis that the federal government is trying to handle today. If local government were functioning, we cannot have a food chain, a food supply chain cut off. Because largely in Nigeria, most of the foods are being generated from the local government, from the communities. Today, the insecurity, the kidnapping, the barbarism, the failure of leadership have crippled our communities. They cannot even farm. They cannot. We are just trading blames for nothing. But the crop of leaders from 1999 that are not career politicians key into the system, hijack the system, and it's the only reason why a governor will tell you, look, it's my money. He was elected. But he will tell you the resources of the state belongs to him. If you give me 10,000, I gave you 10,000 of my money. That is how low we are. And this situation, unless we made up our mind that we have the capacity to change it, and we can change it in only one way. In a democracy, the day of coup is the day of election. And the weapon for coup is this your finger. You change bad leaders by voting them out, not by guns. And then all of you here, you have the weapon, you have your guns, your finger, your thumbprint finger for casting your vote. All of you that are seated here. Now, if you don't use it, who will you blame? If you say, no, my vote will not count, who do you blame? And if you complain, who are you complaining to? Because God has given you opportunity, have given you the health, the good ears, sound head, clear vision, but you decided to say no. My vote will not count. People rig where they are not popular. Nobody can rig you. If you cast your vote, you work together to protect your vote. Nobody will rig you out. And I'm happy that the era of rigging is gone. If there's one thing these protests have brought to Nigeria, is our sense of unity. If you see the millions of youths on the streets, you will assume that the world is coming to an end. You can't even count them, millions of them, daring the state authority. I read the statistics that were released by MBS, that our judges in Nigeria are the highest corrupt judges in the world, based on the statistics that have been released. I saw the chief of army staff complaining, if they arrest criminals, they will take them to court, they will release them, and the criminals will come after them. So this is our future, all of us. We organize this deliberately so that we can share our mindset, focus on the future, get your PVC. That is your greatest weapon. Don't be deterred. Nobody should intimidate you. It is your country. All of us have shares in Nigeria. Nobody have more share than any other Nigerian. All the shares belong to all of us. It's only when we agree to be intimidated, we will keep quiet while Nigerian money will be looted away. One individual will steal trillions of naira, and then you have no right to talk. Please.
Nuisance leleyi. Nuisance leleyi.
I know it's a mixed one, right? If you are not on Facebook, if you are not on YouTube with this character of people in the temple tonight, you are missing. And I actually thought I should have warned you to please listen to the message and leave the messenger. But it seems like there is nowhere we could separate them. It wouldn't need, this one is from Agades. Somebody even said that, it was chased away from, it was chased away by Talon in Niger Republic. Baba, Talon Benin now. Yeah? Talon is from Benin Republic. Niger Republic, other side in Yewa Upper. Eh? He's just a SDP chairman, a Fulani guy, of course. I was there laughing with Totu and Olowo. They are in the studio, by the way, right? We're just there laughing. We're reading some of your comments and your reactions on YouTube. Like, Abba, the guy was telling you about the system that you have seen. And according to him, Ebi Sowapo, Hunger United, you know, that kind of this year. Alaye, which team you they play for? Baba, na Hunger United, you know. Some will say na Shege United. It depends. Some will say na the renewed hope team la one play for. But he believes that Hunger United Nigerians, but bullets scatter them and return them back to their hungry, odds. Unfortunately. Because it was supposed to be like, people were like, Nigeria is so divided, though. Nigeria has never been this divided, though. Eh? Well, people can come together like this. And honestly speaking, I will never build my hope on hungry people anymore. No offense, okay? No offense. No offense to those of you who actually stood up against these guys, okay? Let's be honest. If people say they are hungry and they want to fight, it is not a kind of a fight you should put a bet on. Because if the opponents come, offer them bread and beans, bread the 1,000 naira. And you put money on them, say they won't fight because they are angry. Meanwhile, they are just hungry, not angry. So I think if we put our money on the last end, bad governance, that was, pretty much like 80% of it is about we are hungry, being power. Well, we are very hungry. We'll kill anybody and all of that stuff. We say, yes, we need you to channel this energy for good governance. You must channel it and go after these rogues. But the moment these people enter warehouse where they see rice, and everybody carry bag of rice to the house, They just stay back at home cooking rice. I was like, Molora Pitbull. Pitbull, don't fi pizza trick. It's like you go buy dog, a pitbull. It's like, wow, wow. I say, Bila to go, and you will return me. You had, oh. And then they just pass some pizza. Your pitbull, why they empty your house? That's what hungry is, in my own opinion. And I don't think it's the right thing to ever put a bet on. It's important that we remember that. But the guy was talking about the judiciary. He's talking about your resolute something that he's still talking about you uniting on hunger. I'll let him finish.
Please, I'm appealing to all of you. We invested to mark this day to honor all of you and honor ourselves. And on behalf of this party, I want to register our deepest gratitude for your presence. We feel honored, we feel respected, we feel that yes, the youth are understanding the dynamics. They know that if they don't put themselves in, nobody will call them. So you have to push yourself in. Nobody will just push you. And you cannot be lying down on the bed, food will be falling inside your mouth. It has never happened. There is no such miracle. There is no such miracle. I can see our service members that are serving the country, the youth corpus, dedicating 1 year to serve the nation, hoping that after the service they will get good job. But this is the society we are talking about. Do we have the capacity to do it? The answer is yes. Are we willing to do it? The answer is yes. Are we in the position to do it? The answer is yes. Why are we not doing it? Because of greed. We have applied diabolism in employment. We have applied ethnic bigotry in the system. If you are not the son of someone, nobody will employ you. This is how bad the system is. People in government establishments collect money up to 1, 2, 3 million naira for someone to get employed. That is the kind of barbarism we are going through. Fellow Nigerians, to get a job, their parents sold their property to send them to school. Train them. It is time for them to take care of their parents. The parents have to sell something to get them employed. There's no great disservice as this. And I wish President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will fish out those ministries and parastatals that they call juicy ministries or parastatals. From the discrimination of the salaries, people who are working in NNPC are made to look more superior than people that are working in the Ministry of Information. People that are working in Port Authority are made to feel they are more superior than their fellow Nigerians. And these are government agencies, ministries, and parastatals. But they discriminate even on the salary scale. And we think we are doing the right thing. And we think that the conversation is right. It can never be right until the government decided to unify all salaries, stop all this discrimination. Parents will not be struggling to get their sons or daughters get employed in Port Authority or Maritime or Hilda Revenue or NNPC, because largely the attention was there because of the salary and motivation. Why can't we apply it above board? Every ministry can be a juicy ministry. Depends on who is there. It's not about the office, it's about the individual. The creativity of individuals can turn any ministry into one of the most attractive ministries in Nigeria. But you have lazy people who have no experience of even being a councillor, being appointed ministers, experimenting on the seat of a minister. And we are serious as a nation. So I'm drawing the attention just the way my brother, patriotic brother have said, Mustafa. We have no any other country except Nigeria. I don't have a visa of any country on earth. If I'm traveling, I have to apply for a visa. I don't have house anywhere except Nigeria. And I will never get house anywhere outside Nigeria. We've been laboring for this country. We fought for the restoration of democracy. Our leaders were sent to prison. Some of us were victimized, but we are still standing. Because our destiny is in the hands of God, not anybody's hand. So believe that your destiny is in the hands of God, but you have to fight for your right. Please, I'm appealing to.
Thank you. Yeah, kind of has a point. You know that Shada is got a point. If you want to think like a Nigerian, okay, the Nigerian politicians are good at that. I could be like that too. Making you feel like we don't have another country. I don't have a house anywhere in the world. I don't have another visa of this and so and so. So we must make sure we fight for this our country. Baba, you are titani, so monkey ni. You are legend fight for where? The only fight that should be in every one of us right now is to dismantle this contraption, and it is for good. I'm serious, it's for good. Don't see it as a bad thing. Once this contraption is sort of broken up, divided in a way, what you are doing is that you are breaking the chain that hold the entire contraption together, that makes it easier for these criminals to be able to operate at the level where tribalism, ethnic bigotry, religious fanaticism, and all those things that kept the rest of you divided and hateful to yourselves. You will break it. And then you realize, oh, yeah. You know that those Nollywood movies where you go be like, say, when they release you from the bondage, Nigeria is a bondage systemically put in place to keep you confused and possibly run you mad. And by the time you are mad, that will be the time you are likely going to be useful to the rogues who continue to handle the asylum, which is what the contraption is, an asylum. And all lunatic to take over asylum. So for you to function well, you have to increase your level of lunacy too. Trust me. So you can think like a one Nigeria, this or that, but remember that if you break where the oil is no longer flowing to the north, and the north as well, where they can begin to eat their own food too, where they can begin to eat their own cow, where they can properly feed their own people, and the southerners, yeah, if you know they grow your food, as if to say we know they grow our food, we know they rear our own animals, right? And everybody go they drinking crude oil. You get that? If you have to go and drink your crude oil, go and drink it. But this time around, right? That will be decided by those you give the chance to control your own place, right? Oh no. Oh, Nigeria is going to be great. Let us all come together. Baba, you don't get too much time. Over 50 years of listen. Right now, I am 40 years old. Like I'm almost 41 now. Baba, I'm right? So if to say I was in Nigeria, remove 25 years from my age. Guess how old I will be? 16 years. And I'll be a teenager who knows nothing, innocent, waiting for the system built and put in place by the supposed leaders of the country who promise that I will be the leaders of tomorrow. Sure you get. So now that's how much Nigeria has stolen from me. In fact, I kind of put it like, averagely, the Nigeria stole the first 28 years of my life. And then APC, they couldn't steal an inch from any part of my life. I have to be very clear about that. You see, last 9 years, I don't think word of mouth can describe the victims that these have claimed. And you are going to have maybe another 8, then it's going to be like 16 years. And that's sad. If you come to think of it, okay? If they say Nigeria is going to be great, and you look at yourself and be like, how long do you have left?
I am, like I said, I'm 41, right? Or I'm going to be 41. I'm 40, going to 41. So I'm going to be 41, right? The most I have left to be active is probably 25 more years. That's the most I've got. Then I would have become a grandpa, a grandfather. I would become somebody that everybody just kind of suddenly care about. Say, well, okay, you know, I'll be somebody that they will begin to look into actually getting me more jumpers or cardigans and all that. So that everybody will be checking on me. Have you used your medication? Because around that time, they are just going to be managing me. I can't fight anymore. So if you allow them to lie to you that, you know something, Nigeria is going to be great and you are watching them plunder it the way they are doing, you are only just paying them with your life. You may think, as they always say, maybe God could just suddenly turn on you and turn you to a rich person. I'm just saying, you know, how many people would be able to live above poverty level with the way things are going or with the way things have been? And how many of us will never make it down to that 60? How many of my own mates actually make it to their own 40th birthday? And how many do you think will make it to 60? In that same contraption that you will never know? So if anybody is telling you that you go better, and they can't tell you the date, they are just trying to tell you that continue to use your life to service a contraption that is not meant to work for you. I mean, if you are 50 years old, the most you have left is probably 15, 20 years. I am 41, right? The most I have left is going to be probably 20, 30 years. 30 years. I think, you know, I am high in that. Nobody will no one grow old though, but just reason you have seen people who are very active, they get cancer, they die, 45 years. That's it. You have people who have very serious other things that happen to them just before they turn 50 and they die. That's it. And you have others who are kind of living with this kind of ailment that they have to manage for the rest of their life that reduces their activities as well. And these were like active people before then. As anything can happen to you. Nobody guarantees you anything, which means every day you live, you have to actually live. But that contraption will never let you live. You will continue to cope. While the guys and others will be telling you, Nigeria will be great. Then you die. You will never know. Oh, you will never know. So it is what it is. So if you make it this far, think about what I said. How long do you think you have left? Do you not deserve a better life at all? And then you have a lot of lunatics in that place. I mean, people are kind of like doing horrible things. And when you look at them, you're like, man. And then you ask them, why are you doing all of this? They say, well, it's because they are poor. No, they have mental health problem. Listen to this one, kidnapping children, right? Selling them off. But look at him.
Ibo lónìí tí wá sọ̀rọ̀ sókè kí ló wá ṣe ní Èkó. Ó máa ń jọmọ gbé l'Èkó. Ẹ máa jọmọ gbé sínú mọ́tò máa gbé wọn lọ láti Ìbàdàn. Àwọn ọmọ mélòó ló ti gbé l'Èkó? Ó pọ̀. Àwọn ibo l'Èkó lẹ ti gbé àwọn ọmọ.
Òkúta ìdí bẹ́gà ìbàjá ọ̀nà ìkọ̀tún ọ̀nà ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ìyànàbà ọ̀nà sí ọ̀nà ṣẹ́kì pọ̀tù.
Kí lórúkọ tiẹ̀?
Orúkọ tèmi Káyọ̀dé Akínọlá.
Káyọ̀dé Akínọlá níbo níbàdàn ló ti wá? Leave him. Don't talk. Gbójú sókè. Kí ló pè é?
Tèmítáyọ̀ Ọláfisóyè.
Ọláfisóyè. Kí lórúkọ ìkejì ẹ?
Káyọ̀dé Akínọlá.
Níbo níbàdàn lẹ ti wá?
Sáìdì ọ̀nà bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀nà àpáta ẹ̀rọ̀sọ́nà Ṣàngó ọjọ́ mọ́nàmọ́níyà yẹn láti wá.
Ok, kí ló porúkọ ìkejì ẹ náà?
Orúkọ kejì mi Káyọ̀dé Akínọlá.
Káyọ̀dé Akínọlá ló ń jẹ́. So ẹ máa wá s'Èkó, ẹ kọ́ sáré gbọ́mọ ẹ gbé l'Íbàdàn. Kí lẹ̀ ń fa àmọ́ tẹ́ ń gbé, kí lẹ̀ ń fi wọ́n ṣe? Ẹ fi ń ṣoògùn owó.
Ẹ fi ń ṣoògùn owó ló wá rí báyìí.
Okay. No problem. So ẹ ti kọ́ àwọn ọmọ púpọ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ náà tẹ́lẹ̀. Báwo lẹ ṣe máa ń kọ́ àwọn ọmọ yẹn? Báwo lẹ máa ń gbé wọn?
Bá ti rí wọn máa ń kún wọn lókùnkùn ni.
Ẹ máa ń kún wọn ní òkùnkùn. Wọn ní rí náà. Oògùn tablet. Ṣé àwọ̀ ló ní àwọn ilé? Ṣé oògùn yẹn lélẹ̀?
And that is it. You see, that guy was caught because he's a kidnapper from Ibadan. They traveled to Lagos, kidnap children, then take them back to Ibadan. What were they using them for? They were using them for money rituals. But look at him. Look at that guy. The same way they kidnap people for money ritual. Wretched souls. People who are suffering from schizophrenia. People would say hunger, don't turn their brains. They are already lunatics, see. But their lunacy is claiming lives, innocent lives, because they want money. We need money. Agbeton gbere pàdé olókun, má gbere pàdé olókun mọ́. Oyọ̀dọ̀ ilé mi máyégún. General ni kó máa gbé wá àlùkò tó ń gbé eré pàdé ọlọ́ṣà kó máa gbére pàdé ọlọ́ṣà mọ́ ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀mí máyégún ni kó máa gbé wá everybody from all over the world ó yẹ máa gbé owó wá owó. Baba won't mess up. I want to mess up brain so badly, right? To the point that it's easier for you to imagine a lot of things that you think could take you out of poverty. And maybe if I go kidnap somebody to kill, okay, mix their flesh, their body with black soap, and start, bathing with that black soap every 1 a.m. Oh my, you know that. At least I am from Odogbolu, Ijebu. It's just so unfortunate that Baba, you have a system and a culture where people who have been economically broke-beaten, lack poor education to start with, then they have been existing in something that looks like a loop. They can't think, they can't reason. They are starving, they are hungry, they are poor, they have no idea what to do. And boom, I think I need money. Oh, maybe if I sell somebody's head, I will make money. That is madness. But you will still see earlier today, we saw 2 guys, another set of lunatics in Ibadan. Guess what they were doing? They were packing sands from the front of banks. I swear, they were packing sands. They will go to this bank, in front of the bank. They will pack the sand. They will pack the sand in a bag. They will label it. Zenith Bank, okay, Mokbo, Ibadan. Zenith Bank, okay, Mokbo. They'll go to another bank. Pack the sand in front of the bank. Straight and pack it. GT Bank, Agodi, Gates. They will label it. Then what thing they do with the sand? We want to use it to make a money ritual. Explain it to us. So what does that mean? How would you do that? What will happen to the people, the customers of the bank? And they said, nothing will happen to them. We are just going to use a little bit of their destiny for money. It's like borrowing small of your destiny. Nigeria go. And some of you right now, you are going through a lot and you are considering maybe you should go and do money ritual. Baba, mental problem, Neo. I swear, it might what cross mind there. You see? We're near o ma panyan to ba tete stop o. I know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to diagnose you from here, but think about it. Think about it. Once you begin to feel like, I don't, Papa, mental problem here. It is for your own good. Because last, that mental problem can naturally make you think, maybe if you use your mama, you could just kill the innocent woman, the poor woman for nothing. So maybe I should use it to, I should use my mama, I should use my sister, or maybe I should use my girlfriend. And that's how you're going to kill somebody. You will never be rich. You will never have any money. You will only become a murderer. You will not be a rich man. I'm saying it to you now. Maybe I can even save a soul. Who knows? Somebody may stumble on this video and be like, oh, I didn't see it that way, Sha. Take a look at the people who tell you, say, you can't kill somebody for money ritual. If money ritual is real, Papa, all of us were supposed to be so rich. You know why? There are those who are mining scores across Nigeria. When I say mining scores, they are doing so for just one reason. Because they want to make money. These are people who they will tell you, I have tried everything. I'm tired. This is Nigeria, I'm tired. I say, okay, you've tried everything. What did you try? Go. I went to school. I didn't have I have not got any job. I tried to be an Okada rider. The last man took my bike. I decided to be a conductor. I fell off on Third Mainland Bridge. That is why I became a one-legged man. So now you are saying I've not tried. I'm tired. I want to do money ritual. I say, see? In Nigeria, not happen to you to get you to that stage. It's important that, listen, there is nothing called money ritual anywhere. You're not going to be rich. You're going to be a murderer. You probably believe me because you are not mad, Abby. Because if you see mad ones with the year, they know they're too sure. They could just like, oh, Benny, me where I go do my money ritual next week. I'm not saying I don't have people here who get that mental problem. I'm just saying that if by any means I'm still speaking to that voice inside you, the you go before your lunatic thoughts take over, okay? I'm speaking to you directly, that voice inside this person listening to me. There's nothing called money ritual. You only become a murderer. And I'm serious. So the spirit of money ritual should leave you. The thought of it and the spirit of lunacy that has become so much like institutionalized in that contraption should leave you by the power vested in me, by the universe. I'm not mocking you. It's a serious stuff too, right? And that was that guy. And we're talking about Lagos. Not just Lagos this time now, okay? So we saw where, while I was away, I saw where this shit business, Otumba Gaddafi said, shit business is a serious business. Olowo, you remember Otumba Gaddafi in Lagos? He used to sell a mobile toilet. His own motto was like, shit business, not serious business. Since his death, I think the entire Lagos has been like, flooded with people say shits. They call it open defecation. And we've seen that several times where people were busy cleaning the drainages where people also shit. Unfortunately, there is no real public toilet like that per se. And I think, okay, I saw this guy in Lagos. I'll show you. Iṣẹ́ ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀, iṣẹ́ ni o. Ọ̀túnba Gaddafi. Ọ̀túnba Gaddafi ló sọ pé iṣẹ́ ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀, iṣẹ́ ni o. Ọ̀túnba Gaddafi says shit business. Now real business, no joke. But do you see that there is no provision for what do you call it? No provision for the safety of those guys who are cleaning the drainages and all that just next to the highway, the motorway. A Nigerian thing with that. If one trailer just loses its track there, whoa, and just crush everybody in that place. Hey, Kule Abiyamo. Hey, see this devil just killed these people now. In the UK, when somebody wants to go and put, what do you call it? When somebody wants to go and change, for example, now, let's say you are going on the motorway and this is your lane. This is my lane. This is another lane, 3 lanes. Then you have the hard shoulder on the left. And they needed to fix the railing on this left. The railing and the hard shoulder in there. The railing fell off. So they won't put them back. Screw them. They will come tell you, say, there will be road diversion from 4 p.m. this evening until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. Lórí pé fẹ́ ṣe railings, tẹ́ kàn máa gbé truck sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ tẹ́ máa sáré dé. No, they call it health and safety. They go first block 1 lane. Come put, what do they call it? Come put a speed limit on the road. If the motorway is 70, what do you call it, miles per hour, they will go and put it there 20. Everybody do 20. But now we get people here. We want fixed railing. We have already shot 1 lane, by the way, to create space. And until we finish cleaning this thing, all these lanes will remain closed. And the speed, you have to reduce the speed. About what speed? I want trailer here now. 1,001 way to die. Even where you think you are working and doing good, your life is worthless. And it's not just to deport, it's just like systemic. The life of a Nigerian is so worthless that if you give a Nigerian helmet, I don't be waiting that they call me that safety hats, helmets, to go say, oh, I don't need any hat, Jare. Immediately dodge. Nothing they have. I don't like putting anything on my head. It's against our family name. We know they put anything for our head. You run you. But a typical one, you get typical Nigeria, I believe why? It's what it is. And that is why we have the Nigerian soldiers who are entertaining us at the war front, doing TikTok, since now defense then they play, not attack. So they posted this to show to us that that they too can fight better than the Boko Haram. Now condition make crayfish bend. Now people don't allow them to go fight. So let's make some TikTok. I like this too. This is what it looks like whenever Nigerian army are playing their usual defense. When they attack them, so they will go back and push. And so you get like that. Then they showed us how it is done. Fighting the terrorists, their brothers, their misguided brothers in the Sahel.
gaskiya oga mu za mu yi magana ai akan rashin RPG ga gaskiya za mu yi magana. Bai kamata ana barin RPG wani za mu yi fita ba haka. Za mu yi requestion ai za mu gaya mashi ai.
That's how you will know that Nigeria problem sometimes. So that way spiritual and little. When you see the American troop going into a territory, they don't scatter around walking about. Here you get cycling here or there. They walk in files or they walk in twos. And you see that open space. You would have seen Americans, they have names for all this, their mine remover, mine detector. America won't want to lose any soldier because that field that you see there could actually be a minefield to some extent, right? Okay, somebody said, what if they have cleared it? I think they have cleared it. They cleared what? And when they cleared them, they now said everybody should just scatter and move. I am not a soldier. Martinelli is a soldier, was a soldier, or still a soldier. Ahmed is a soldier. If I happen to take calls this evening, they will help me and tell you that that formation, the whole thing, actually tells you all you need to know about Nigerian army and why. You will never win any war against the state-sponsored terrorists. Take a look again. And like these soldiers, they walk, even you when they watch movie, and like these soldiers, they walk when they fight a terrorist. Thugs, you know. I'm talking about the soldiers and all that. So the evil genius, Babangida, celebrated his birthday recently. I didn't even bother to go and check out what they say. I just want to hear what he had to say. Here is a man that says he has no regrets. Of course. So they were asking him about a few of his policies, right? Okay, you are now 90. No, he's not 90, okay? Oh, you are now 80 something. What do you think about this contraption and the rest of that? I don't think this will be boring, but tell me when it is boring and I can just end it and call it a night. I'm joking.
Fantastic. Now, most of the people we are spoken to, because as at the time you became president, I was already 10 years old. But I had a talent of, I had interest in politics, affairs, and all that. So I know a lot of reforms that you brought into the system. Like the first one, most of the draconian things that preceded you, you knocked them off. I know that on the first day of your coming in, there were a lot of pronouncements. States were created. People were released, journalists that have been detained were released. People don't talk about that. So you were basically seen as a man on a mission. That was when you came in. Now, can you tell us what was actually your actual vision for Nigeria before you became president? Because I believe you didn't just sit down to say, I want to be president. You must have had a trajectory that you wanted to follow.
Yeah, I think I was very much in contact with the general feelings within the society. I have friends that come across or cut across the entire spectrum of the society. I was interested in governance generally. So I'm always in contact with people who are affected by governance, and that made me become very much aware of politics around me or things around me, and that was the beginning. So I can be able to know that this is good, and a lot of us are fairly well read about how countries, the relationship between the military and the civilians, where there are coups, because that was the in thing then at that time in the African continent.
Okay, now let's talk about, this is not controversial per se, because if you, out of 10 marks, if you're able to get 7 and 8, it's excellent, you have passed. But perhaps one of the points that could have probably made it 100 for you, the structural adjustment program. Because in the course of reading Chidi Amuta's book, I also posed this question to Dr. Kalu Dikakalu. I felt that SAP was a very good was a very good program on paper and all that. So I asked Dr. Kalu Dikakalu that you were first in charge of the economy, then I know you went into planning at some point. So did you people really follow this through? Because if you did follow the program through as you had it then, perhaps it could have been absolutely, things could have been perfect. What happened? So I'm posing that question to you.
I think I said it at the beginning of launching it, when we first launched it. We told the country that this program is not going to be an easy program. It is going to be tough. But we appreciated the resilience of the Nigerian people. And we counsel that if they work hard, the program will be very, very beneficial to each and everybody in the country. But if we decide to break down or to succumb to the pressures of the reform, then we are not going anywhere. I was honest enough to say it because I realized that it is not going to be easy. And behold, I was quite right, because there was, in this country, maybe, but then you have grown up, there was SAP riot in this country. It was the first time I realized that I have overrated the resilience of the Nigerians under pressure. That was the first time. But we kept it on going, keep on talking to people that, look, this is good for the country and is good for you. And I'm glad that people realize it later, after going through some of this. People who stood firm to do what we were trying to do, let's say in privatization, for example, they are now today some of our successful captains of industries in this country. This is because of all the SAPs. We also realize that control plays a lot of havoc to the country. So we liberalize quite a number of things that were inherently under government control. Government has to sweep your backyard, for example, to praise it that it is a good government or something like that. So it's good we saw it. We realized there will be difficulty, and there was difficulty. We also realized that the Nigerian people are very resilient, and those of them who really stuck to it today, we are better off.
Absolutely, because I remember the economy opened up so many things.
Right.
Listen, I know that some of the challenges then was all this borrowing. People didn't know that it's part of an economic policy.
Absolutely.
And all that. Okay, now, I know from some of your reforms, there's a man we are going to interview in Kano on Monday. His name is Dan Maraya. The man said he benefited from some of your economic. Today he's a billionaire.
Of our greedy leaders. Oh, Tonja, where are you? This is the time you are supposed to strike nation. We'll join them in one aeroplane so that it will crash land in the course of their journey. Furthermore, our security agents, i.e.,
Because that's the way I actually feel. But yeah, that's the evil genius, they called him. Babangida, he's 83. But that one too should tell you something else. If you're already in your 50s, you are supporting this contraption, but you don't get too much time left to, and you are not Babangida. See, he had all the money. He has all the money in this world. But that's how he is now, an old man. A soldier that now requires a wheelchair to move about. He's an old man. He said he's 83. Many Nigerians will never live to the ripe age of 70 because of the poor healthcare, poor security, poor infrastructure, poor economic opportunities, and so many other things, other factors that will never make them even live to the ripe age of 70. Many won't. So just think about that. If you are one of those who believe that Nigeria go work, and you are in your 50s and you are shutting down young people who are in their 20s, screaming out loud, screaming and screaming that no, you are ruining our future, you are mortgaging our future, this is unacceptable, this and that, and you are claiming they don't have respect, they don't have elders. Don't you have elders at home? Respect your elders, watch your mouth. You are mortgaging their future. They don't have much time left. If you continue this way, a lot of them will die young. A lot of them. Even yourself, you have not much time left anymore. I don't know how long they've told you Nigeria will go better, that you are trying to force it on us, to accept it. You are 60 years old, you are 70 years old, you are cursing young people online, and then telling them that you will curse them because they have no respect for lunatics like yourself who are posting on social media as elders, advising us to respect you. Take a look at Babangida. How long do you think you have left? How long do you think we have left? I'll let you listen to the concluding part because I intend to show you. Sit down there and keep watching, staring at his, keep staring at him. Listen to what he had to say. A very, very big role player in what you are currently facing in that contraption today.
Nigerians need to have closure on the matter. So he did a very good job. Let me let you in on what Chidamota said, some of the things he said. He gave insights into the several what-ifs. What could have happened? Where people are talking about annulment of June 12. What could have happened in June 12 had it not been annulled? So, but many people are so selfish to reason that way. So, but because this is a documentary, unlike what Araz is a program, it is passive, it has gone. This is a documentary that will stay. So let's attempt to give closure to Nigerians. What could have happened that day? Because everybody knows that Abiola was your friend. In fact, people, according to Chidamota, you wanted Abiola to become president. In fact, you were happy, you were so comfortable because you knew Abiola was going to defeat Tofa abolition. What do you have to say about all that, sir?
Well, I think it's, like you rightly said, a lot has been said about June 12. And people perceive it on different platforms. But I think I kept on saying it's good that June 12 happened. When we put up what you in the media call that contraption, called interim government, we all realized the problem, and we decided to provide something to assuage the strong feelings of Nigerians about the election. But the call then was Nigerians are weary of elections. So the worst military dictatorship is better than this contraption called interim government. What we wanted to do then was to give Nigeria another chance within a short period of 6 months, an opportunity to go for another election so that a true winner of that election could be pardoned. But we got harassed by everybody, those who know, those who don't know, enlightened and not so enlightened. Everybody has something to say on that thing based on his own perception. And I thought that would not have been good for a country like Nigeria. That is one. Secondly, I knew the feelings within the military establishment. And we wanted to hand over then a country or an armed forces that is not coup prone. We wanted to establish an excellent civil-military relation where a democratically elected government takes care of the country and subordinate the armed forces under the constituted authority elected by government, just like it was during the First Republic. All these are what is working on our minds when we had that annual June 12. So I knew the feeling of the military at that time. And nobody can convince me then that another coup was imminent at that time. I had the information, I have the documents, I confronted some of the all. And I thought it's not fair again to plunge the country into another thing. We succeeded in carrying out a coup which was bloodless, and then we carry out another one which I think is going to be bloody and tribalistic. So that is, we are showing the discord of a very fragile Nigeria, a Nigeria that was not the dream of our founding fathers. And we had no alternative but to resist the pressure. Do it this way. Oh no, it's because of this. I had all sorts of things about this, but we were determined. We knew the country should be first. It's just the purpose is to save the country. And I'm glad we still have a
nuisance, Lele.
And I think that's what he's telling himself. Babangida is what the Yorubas describe as somebody who, don't Babangida is considered as somebody who is rotting away while he is still alive. And they consider that as a karma for all his atrocities, as if that's enough. So he's got medical problems, okay, and he's got money to take care of it. So far, so good. He's living off you to stay alive, no matter what it is going to cost. He will continue to enjoy free medical care for the rest of his life, anywhere of his choice, of his own choosing, at your own expense, by the way, just so you know, okay? So, yeah, that's me. I thought I was going to take us this evening, but I am spending the last evening with, some of my guys who came all the way from the US for the Yoruba Union Summit. So this is us back gradually, yeah. And then, tomorrow will be another day. So I want to say a big thank you to every one of you that's still pretty much turned up this evening. Thank you. We will continue this some other time. Thanks a lot. So I also have this to say a very big thank you to all of you who made it down to the Yoruba Union Summit this past weekend. Funke, Dagunduro Baba, Dagunduro Agbalagba Oye, Agbalagba Oye. That's what we call it in Ijebu. Dagunduro. Thank you so much, all, for coming. Our sister there too from Plymouth. In fact, our lady, right? Thank you so much also. We had Elder Kionla. I met Afar. They were calling him Afar. That's Elder Wahab. You remember that man, a Templar here? They're usually called to say he's from Isaleko. He knows Tifnumbu and all his tricks. He called them out and said, I live in East London. Oh, damn it. How did I forget that? Elder Wahab, he was there too. I had a great time, and I bet they did too. So thanks so much to all of you, to those I've mentioned, to those I've probably, for example, Sister Lola, you can hear me too. Bless you. I decided not to put all your second names for a reason, though, right? Because I know you mostly are watching, all of you. So this is me now saying hello, and then thanks so much for coming. That you are back home, safe and sound. Ajia, I bet you too. Thanks so much. Yeah, to the rest of us that I probably am unable to mention, right? Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. I am back. Now we are not going to be dealing with a catch-up. We will be dealing with what is going on. Enjoy the rest of your evening or night. I will see you again, right? Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Mayegun Diary, Diary political. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayebi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.